bacon burger. And the reason I call it bacon is because we're gonna have bacon in the burger, bacon on top of the burger, and bacon fat to cook the caramelized onions in. You don't like this, there is something wrong with you. This is gonna be a fantastic, crazy good burger. The ingredients are very simple. We're just gonna have hamburger. I got about 1.25 pounds. I'm gonna use about 8 ounces of the bacon, and it's smoked bacon. We want that smoked flavor. Some people would put this on the grill, but we're not gonna do that. There's enough smoke taste in the bacon to get that flavor, and it'll be really fine. And we're gonna put some just American cheese on it, some tasty burger sauce. Check out my video on that. It's very simple to make, and it's tasty. And then I'm using brioche buns for the hamburger buns, and then we're gonna do some caramelized onions. You're not gonna believe what we're gonna do to this bacon. This is very simple to do. We're gonna take this is a 16-ounce package of bacon. I learned this watching America's Test Kitchen, and I've never thought about doing this myself, but this is a fantastic, I tried these, and these are fantastic. Well, we're gonna put them just like that. We're not cutting them up. We're just gonna put 8 ounces of bacon approximately in the food processor, and we're gonna put it on for about 60 seconds on low and let it make this most incredible mess and glob of bacon you've ever seen. That's been 60 full seconds, and if you look at this, you're probably going, what on earth is this? And I mean, this just looks like a gelatinous glob of junk. We're also gonna see about 2 or 3 pieces of bacon that we're gonna cook at the end of this, and that bacon's gonna go on top. We want this about medium to medium low. We want to take our time with this. All right, this looks like a glob, and we'll take that piece out because it's not browned. At some point, we'll get it out of there. And just spoon this out. And it's already sizzling, so I don't want it to cook too fast. As soon as you get it in the pan, go ahead and start dividing it up. Now, the first bacon burger that we know about came from a gentleman named Dale Mulder in 1963. And Dale had an A&W franchise in Michigan. A&W root beer, for those of you who remember that, it's still around. And people would come in and ask him to put bacon on their cheeseburgers. And he realized everybody liked it, so he decided, well, I might as well put this on the menu. So he's the first person that we know of in 1963 to put this on the menu. Really crumpling this up. And it's taken on, instead of the goo and gunk look, it's starting to take on a little bit of separated. It almost looks like a really finely ground hamburger at this point. We definitely want to take our time cooking this because we don't want it to burn and we don't want it to get too crisp. We just want it to get brown. This is done. See how brown that is? We don't want it any browner than that, that's fine. So the next thing we'll do is we'll turn off our heat, and then we're gonna drain this while we're doing everything else until we get ready to put our hamburgers together. We're gonna drain this because we don't need this bacon fat in there, but we're saving this bacon fat. Even if you don't use it, any more of it today, I like to save it. I actually save it in the fridge. We'll take our time with this. I'm not going to waste any of this bacon. I'm putting this back. The little pieces that were too big to go in here, and this is looking good. Look at this. This is coming out nicely. This is really looking good. This is just going to sit. We're going to wait. We're going to do this right. All right, this is just about done. Look at that. That's looking right. Then we're going to pour off some of this grease, and then we're going to make our caramelized onions in this grease with this fond from the bacon. And this, I'm not going to pour too much of this off. We're going to leave about 2 tablespoons of bacon fat in here. And if we need some more, which we probably won't, I have this. My video on making caramelized onions because they are done right. And it takes, to make these right, and not just cook them until they turn black or anything like that, to get them to turn actually brown and to caramelize, it takes a good 30 minutes. And I kind of go with the little strips on it. That looks like a lot of onions, but again, it is not. And we're gonna take our time. This is gonna be on medium low. It's gonna take a few minutes to do. And we're probably gonna add just a little bit of salt and pepper on these. And if I was doing just a cheeseburger, I would add a little bit of brown sugar to these, but I don't want to compete with that too much, and these will be sweet enough. These have been cooking for about 15 minutes, and they're getting in the ballpark. One of the ways to kind of rush this a little bit is to add some water to it, and kind of steam them a little bit. And that just helps to get them softened up a little bit more. And you can do that a couple of times, three times. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just, as long as you keep stirring them, they won't burn. So we're gonna set these aside in a bowl. Next, we're gonna take our hamburger, and we're gonna be very careful because when you buy a hamburger, chances are it has been ground twice, which is one reason to make your own hamburger because it then only has to be ground once. And the problem with it and why it matters is that there's this, I think it's a protein, it's called myosin. And the myosin is in the meat, and the more you handle the meat, the more myosin comes out or shows up or however it does anyhow. And it makes the meat tougher. But it also makes it stick together better. So we gotta balance this out. You can do this different ways, of course. Some people use spoons, some people use hands. I just wanna get this broken apart and touch it as little as possible. All right, this is pretty good. All right, so here we go. Now we're going to use the bacon from the food processor. And it's not really crisp at all. It's got a little, this will be actually chewable without crunching. We don't want to crunch. We want this actually in the burger, which is what we're doing. Now, we're just gonna do this. Just fold this in a little bit. Again, nothing major, just wanna make sure there's bacon in all of that hamburger. That's kind of big. I think we do 4. Start packing them together a little bit, but not too much. Clearly these aren't the same size. Okay, it's time to cook. All right, so do clean the pan out from the onions because that's not good. I'm gonna add just a little bacon grease. We're using 80-20 hamburger. You could use 85-15, but you're already gonna have bacon in it anyhow, so you may as well have a little taste. And you start to see the cooking around the edges. Get ready to flip it. Hope it stays together. It didn't completely, but that's a nice looking crust. And I can see that it's not that done, which is good. And I'm gonna put this on it for right now. That's gonna help melt the cheese, and it's also gonna cook the burger a little bit more, and then I'm gonna check the temperature because we don't want it to go above 130. We want it to be nice and medium well. All right. All right, that says 166. That's the problem with being loose. That's 122, 21, 20. That, I'm gonna cover it for about 10 seconds. And that's going to be it. That's good. That is done. And that is hot. All right, and it stayed together. Okay, so we're going to crinkle up our bacon into bits. Now it's time to assemble it. All right, so we're going to take some tasty burger sauce on the bottom. Put our hamburger on, hopefully it stays together. Ah, look at that. That is going to be tasty. Look at these. These are fantastic. A little bit of bacon on top of that. And some more tasty burger sauce. Okay, let's cut this in half and have a look at it. Look at that. Isn't that nice? All right, we're gonna try this. Bacon, bacon, bacon burger. Oh my God. Oh, you can taste the bacon. Look at this dripping. This is dripping. It's not overcooked at all. There's a little pink to the meat, just a tad. The onions are sweet. Caramelization is great. The meat is totally tender. It's not one of those hamburgers that you like chew and chew and chew on. This is super, super tender. So it's falling apart a little bit, but that's great. The taste is fantastic. Thanks for coming on Boy in the Kitchen. Appreciate it if you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.